Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 188 of the DBS.
Presented by Nicolay Law.
Yeah, our boy Russell. He's back again for another week. Gonna be back for a long time.
Russell's going to be here for the foreseeable future.
What do we got going in Russell's camp?
What do we got going in Russell's camp? They're just saving people hundreds of thousands of dollars.
A lot of billboards going up.
A lot of
people
billboards.
recognizing the beard.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of personal injuries getting handled.
Seriously, they're think about the peace of mind you have. You get fucked up on the job site, right? You know you got Russell in your corner.
Yeah.
Not just Russell, you got his whole family in your corner because it's a family affair at Nicolay Law. He's got brothers and sisters and mothers and the whole nine. He's got a huge family. I like to think they've got like 30 some offices in the Midwest, I think.
One could say
Don't quote me on that, but it's a lot of offices in the Midwest. And I like to think that every single employee is related to Russell.
Well, seventh degree, right?
Yeah.
Seventh degree of separation from anybody. Is that's correct?
I think Jared told us on You Bet Your Radio, which is our other podcast on where all podcasts can be found, which I assume all of you already listen to.
Probably.
But Jared said that every single person on the earth is somehow related to like 50th cousin at the highest or something. So they are all technically related to Russell.
Correct.
So it is truly a family affair.
One might say they are a spinoff of the Toretto family.
Yes.
From Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it's all about family. And instead of causing injuries,
correct.
They give you peace of mind from them.
Yeah, they don't do damage. They resolve damage.
Yes.
To individuals.
They're like personal injuries.
Do they use Fear the Beard as a like a slogan?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Fear the Beard. I think I have it behind my head. No, I have Beard 30 behind my head.
Okay. Yep. I don't even need to elaborate on that one.
Nope. So yeah, head to nicolaylaw.com. If you get hurt somewhere, they'll help you out.
Okay. How long are we into sitting in this room? About 8 to 10 minutes. Not a single one of you have commented on what I'm wearing today, and that's okay. I was going to talk about it anyway.
Oh my God.
Does anyone you can't recognize my top.
Because it looks like every other golf sweatshirt I've ever seen.
You would just think it's another lightweight hoodie that I wore into the podcast today. I specifically wore it today because I received it yesterday. Perfect timing. I'm like, all right, I'm going to wear that Tuesday morning. I'm going to wait for the first person to comment on it.
None of us did.
Because it's a good talking point, right? But you didn't notice.
Hold on one second. Let me feel it. Yeah, definitely not made out of gold. It should have been for the price you paid for
it's
that.
It's not made out of gold. Guys, the Sunday Red went on the website, first drop ever. And
did I fucking call it or did I fucking call it?
I mean,
called it.
Holy shit, dude, that stuff's expensive.
If I hadn't hyped it up like I was going to buy something so much leading up to the launch, I probably wouldn't have bought anything. Now I would have.
You put yourself into a corner by saying how much you wanted it.
I did. And I didn't go with the most accessible barrier to entry, which probably would have been a hat. It definitely would have been a hat.
Hats are the most affordable thing and they're still $50.
For some of them are 40.
Okay.
Yep. $40. They're all
the hats are less expensive than the $50 ball markers. The ball markers are not extravagant in any way, and they're $50.
And I get it. I get it, right? Like a Tiger Woods apparel brand has to have some sort of exclusivity. If it becomes, I keep saying, if it becomes like a Shaquille O'Neal basketball shoe at Walmart for $24.99 or whatever it is, Shaq does that so everybody can get in the door. Everybody can wear his shoes, whether, the barrier to entry is a lot less.
Which I love. Everyone loves Shaq. I think that's a great idea.
For sure. Now with Tiger, I feel like a lot of the younger generation, they didn't grow up with Tiger. They don't know how good he actually was. Maybe they do, but they're probably gonna latch on to the Justin Thomases and the Jordan Spieths and the Ricky Fowlers.
I think Scotty's their Tiger.
The Scotty Schefflers.
The 13-year-olds right now, they're Tiger Scotty.
Definitely. But for guys like me who we're at the tail end of Tiger's career, I get what he's doing.
I don't.
Now the ball marker thing was wild to me. Go on the site and I expected higher than normal prices. I I didn't expect $135 before tax and shipping for the lightweight hoodie I'm wearing.
Which
now
is,
it's sweet.
It's
Don't
crazy
get me
that
wrong.
the lightweight hoodie is $135 because not all, but most of the polos were to the penny what I predicted them to be, are $150 for a polo. A singular short sleeve 3-button normal ass golf polo with most of them don't even have the fucking Tiger logo on them. They just got a little patch down on the waist.
A lot of it's branded down below. Yep.
And $150 for that. That is, for most people, like 8 to 10 hours of work.
Yeah.
To own a polo.
Yep.
I couldn't be more out. Everything I learn about Sunday Red puts me further and further out on it.
Now I'm in. Obviously, I got the lightweight hoodie.
You drank the Kool-Aid, Ryan.
I did. I mean, I talked it up a lot. I had to back my words up.
Mhm.
So this will probably be, unless I can maybe snag a hat one of these drops, but this is probably.
Oh, there's a logo way down low for you.
Yeah. Yep. No, the logo is it's.
There's
down,
literally
down
nothing on the chest whatsoever.
Nope. It's just down at the bottom. It's sweet. It's sweet.
Is it sewed on straight?
Yeah.
Unlike the promo pictures?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sewed on straight. And just doing market research, launching the photos they did right away to see like, okay, people really don't like this is crooked. We better get it straight.
Weird. If we're gonna charge them $150 for it, we better put it on straight.
Yeah. Material's great. I'm not gonna lie. It's a comfortable. It quite literally is lightweight. It feels like a napkin on me. Not material wise, but weight wise.
Just from feeling the sleeve. Obviously, I've never worn your sweatshirt. It feels a lot like the fishing sweatshirt. I have like some Habit sweatshirts that it's a fishing brand.
Yeah, if you've
it
ever
feels a lot like that.
Yeah. Or like the Columbia, the PFG fishing shirts. It's got like that. It's like the little tiny squares. I don't know what they call that.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
I have no
a little
idea.
waffling maybe. We'll go
So
with that. That sounds right.
Yeah, it's nice. I won't be buying a ball marker. The packaging it came in, I got a comment on the packaging. Packaging was great. It was all wrapped up in like tissue paper with like a cardboard band around the whole thing, holding it in.
That was 40 of the 135 you paid for it.
Yep. I got this night. I don't know. I wish
Did Tiger sign that personally?
it would have been sweet if this was a yardage book.
Ah,
That would have been kind of sweet.
yeah.
Send the yardage book in with with your invoice and all that kind of stuff in it. But no, it came with welcome to Sunday Red. This brand is personal. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. When you wear Sunday Red, you'll know you have the confidence to compete. And it's signed by somebody. And then it says, let's go to work, Tiger. And that's just all printed text.
Let me see it.
Now it's signed by somebody, but it's not. I don't think that's Tiger Woods' signature.
Not a chance. Something, it looks like a L and then the last name starts with a D.
It's not Eldrick Woods, is it?
That's the last name. It could be. I think it is.
I mean, it's got.
It is.
What?
That's Tiger's signature.
Okay.
It's like, it's a real, his W, the first little thing on the W is really short, and then the last one swoops all the way around it, so it looks like a D.
Yeah.
That's Tiger.
Okay. So he personally signed this. Also,
Cool
no,
signature,
he
man.
didn't. What would have been sweet is if he would have signed like the first 100 of these or something.
He might have. You just probably didn't get it because you didn't have a bot.
You think they would have promoted that though, just to like hype it up even more?
But
Because the Tiger Woods signature is going to sell for a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but they wouldn't do that though, the first 100, because they know the first 100 are going to be bots and they don't want Tiger's personal signature going out to bots.
Here's the thing about the bots though, Tyler. I talked about reselling this thing, keeping it packaged and reselling it. Everything was still in stock except for the hats. So it wasn't like a get on there quick so it doesn't sell out. Everything is still there.
Okay.
So also little freebie.
Ball marker.
Package. That's what I thought right away. 6 Sunday Red tees with the Tiger logo on the very top of the tee.
Okay.
3 white and 3 red.
Are they wood?
They are wood.
Okay.
You like wood tees?
For par threes.
I would hope they're not plastic because it being Tiger Woods, the guy's got to use wood tees.
Pretty sure he uses plastic tees like every other pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Couple shorties. The red ones are short. The white ones are long. Sunday Red branding.
Are you going to use those or are you saving them?
I might save them. I'll probably use them. Good question.
Yeah.
Don't know what.
Can't get a signature on a tee.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, I better not use this because it's like the free Bridgestone ball that I got at Pop Stroke. The first time I went to Pop Stroke, which is Tiger's like mini putt entertainment facility. I haven't used that ball yet. Why? Well,
I get save. You have one ball.
Correct.
I totally get save.
Yeah, you're right. So overall experience, I mean, the website, be honest, I've seen a lot of helped build a lot of websites. A little bit underwhelming, but other than that, the experience was good.
Good.
It was good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because I'm going to live vicariously through you because I'm not going to ever buy a piece of merch from them.
Yeah, I'm glad I enjoyed it too because it may be my last.
Is it? Are you ever going to buy more?
Well, the thing, I can't be... Personally, I just don't want to spend that much on golf clothing because I have a lot of it already.
Okay. Would you have actually bought the sweatshirt if you didn't the podcast before preach about how you were going to buy something from there? Be completely honest. If you just went to check it out the day it dropped and you hadn't talked about any of that stuff the week before, would you have bought the sweatshirt?
Probably.
Okay.
Just so I have the ability to say that I bought something from the very first drop. Now, who I'm going to tell that to? You guys. Hopefully you care. You probably don't. But
I mean, we're talking about 15 minutes content. It's work.
Yeah. So I probably would have. I was going to get like the thicker sweatshirt. I didn't want to spend $200 on a thicker sweatshirt. Something that, even if I wear it once a week, somebody's going to say, hey, you've been wearing that sweatshirt a lot.
No, I think you made the right call on the lightweight. Lightweights, they're very versatile.
I wanted something that I could wear playing golf. I don't like to wear a bulky sweatshirt playing golf, and I wanted something I could wear outside of golf. So I landed on this. It was spendy. I'm not gonna lie about it, but
no, you can't. It's on the website.
That is true. So here we are.
No, how much did you buy?
I didn't buy a single thing.
Okay, good call.
Yeah. Is it everything you thought, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. The prices were in line with what we thought. Tyler was dead on. It's nice.
Right.
I can now tell people about it, whether they care or not. I can still tell people about it.
I think, I don't know. Everyone's algorithm is personalized, obviously, on the internet. But from everything I saw, there's a lot of people not happy with the price point.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of outcry. But like, who the fuck's gonna pay this?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ryan,
yeah, you're right. Noah pointed right at you. But most of the posts I've seen have not been. They're not like fuck Tiger Woods and fuck this brand. They're all just like, oh man, this kind of sucks. Like, why would they do that? But
I get it.
My personal algorithm is catered to me, so of course I'm going to see my opinions echoed on the internet. I'm sure other people have seen other stuff, but the response I see is not great.
And you made a good point, Tyler. The biggest miss from Sunday Red was that it was not released on a Sunday.
Or most of it red.
It was okay. So the red collection, the Everything Red collection did just come out.
It did. Okay.
Yeah, it just came out yesterday, I want to say.
You showed me you pull up the website and it was like everything was green and like military tones.
Yeah. Yeah. The green collection was an exclusive collection. I tried to get into that one, but I couldn't. I got declined. Yeah, it was released on a Wednesday night and not Sunday, but that's here nor there. So, Tyler, you been out lately or no?
Yeah, I golfed Sunday night, twilight round.
You're a big twilight round guy.
Yeah, lately.
Is it before the kids go to bed or?
It's like an hour before they go to bed, so I'm not abandoning mom for an entire afternoon.
Yeah,
with all the kids, and
I like that move.
We take turns, so we put both the boys to bed at the same time. We take turns every other night, and I only do it on her night, so she was going to be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel less guilty abandoning her at bedtime when it's her turn to put him to sleep anyway, and it's only for an hour.
Okay.
Anyway, I went out with a buddy. Same military buddy that sent us the course in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Nate,
back.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah, he's back. We're actually neighbors.
Let's go, Nate.
He's like right across the street from me. So just he and I went out and we went to Prairie Wood and she was fucking packed, dude.
Nate is probably like, this is what real grass on a golf course is like?
Yeah, he's so used to Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's been back for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he golfs here all the time.
Love you, Nate.
But it was absolutely packed. We played the first 3 holes, and then a group of 3 in front of us just like, hey, you want to play with us? And it was a guy and a gal. I assume that they are a couple, and an old guy that was very serious. I have stories about them. First story, the old guy.
Wait, sorry. I'm going to stop you real quick. It's a good point to kind of recognize when somebody asks you to play with them and you don't want to.
Yeah.
How do you slip out of that situation?
I made a joke immediately. I was like, I'm only going to play with you guys if you don't make fun of me, and just kind of trying to break the ice. And he's like, I will not make fun of you. Just like, okay. And then the younger couple were like, you can't make fun of us either.
Yeah, okay.
They were cool.
Okay.
Were you playing with Liam Neeson? What was that?
Yeah.
So the guy he was fine. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just very serious, and he was very he was really grumbly about the pace of play.
Who asked you to play?
The old guy.
Okay.
Because he's like, and I don't know why he was gonna have to wait regardless if we played with him or not.
Right.
But he was just really concerned about not waiting. I'm like, well, adding 2 more people to your group is going to make you wait just as long, if not longer.
Yeah.
It was besides the fact he was nice, but just overly serious. I've never seen this before in my life. We are on a glorified par 3 course, right? Like there's some par 4s, one par 5.
Par 32.
Yep. It's a par 32, 9-hole course in Fargo. And this dude had a shot book. He was recording shots in a little notepad and checking it before every hole.
Do you think that's the only course he had in the shot book, or do you think
It was a big shot book, so I would assume he has most of the Fargo. I don't know. I didn't ask. I didn't want to get into his Prairie Wood shot book.
you should have asked him about it? You should have asked if he could. Maybe it's like his diary or something. Maybe it's his golf diary.
It could be, but it looked exactly like a yardage book that the pros keep in their back. He kept it in his back pocket. I mean, and I don't want to shit on this guy because he was a nice dude.
Not good
It's
guy.
just I've never seen somebody take Prairie Wood that seriously. And he was a fine golfer, typical old guy, hit her straight, hit her short. And he wasn't like ancient either. But the couple, they're great. The dude was a really good golfer. His girlfriend or wife, she's just learning, but from hole 4 to hole 9 is like a completely different human. Like she went from not being able to hit the ball to, I think she beat me on hole 8.
What the fuck?
It was an incredible
That's the
transformation.
definition of sandbagging.
But so we're on hole, I think it's 5 at Prairie Wood, the par 3 back towards the neighborhood.
Yep.
And Nate comes up to me. He's like, look at this ball I found. And he shows me this ball, and it's got a picture of a girl on it. And underneath it says, I tap that. And
I like I''D or just
I tap that. And I was like, holy
Whoa.
I was like, hell yeah, that is a hilarious bachelor party ball.
Also, that's
like
not,
you put the bride on it, and then the groom you give it to the groom. And so it's like a picture of his wife to be, and it says, I tap that. I think that's hilarious.
also not a great ball to have in your bag, and then your wife comes up and say, hey, I'm going golfing with the girls tonight. Can I borrow some balls?
Yeah.
And then she sees this ball like, are you cheating on me? Are you having an affair?
Well,
Who is this girl that you're tapping?
I assume it's a picture of the wife. So like, let's say it's your bachelor party.
No, but
Somebody
if I-
puts a picture of Meg on it.
Correct. But if
Oh,
I had that
I see
ball
what you're saying.
in
Yep.
if Nate had that ball and if Nate's married, if his wife,
Yep.
it's like, ooh, that
It
could be a
definitely-
sticky situation.
Definitely presents a weird situation when you lose that ball and somebody else finds it.
Which is exactly.
sure.
You're right, like that, and you're playing with it, and then
Well, the story
Shit hits the
develops.
fan.
right.
So the story develops. Nate shows me this ball. I think it's hilarious. Old guy's right next to us. And we're like, hey, I'm like, look at this ball. And it's funny. And
That's my wife.
We're showing this old guy. He's like, that's her. And he points to the other couple with us. And sure as shit, it was the couple we were with. It was her picture on it. And
Was it one of their balls?
yeah, so she was hitting it was a Callaway 3 with her face on it, and it says I tap that. And Nate was hitting a Callaway 3 with no picture on it.
Oh, okay.
And they just got confused, and Nate grabbed her ball and she grabbed his ball. And so she knew about it. And so we're like, wait a second, this is you? And they just started laughing. I'm like, you guys got a lot of explaining to do.
Damn. I mean, the question of like, do he be fucking? It was answered without even asking.
Immediately. So it's like, before it was like, well, what could be brother, sister, but more likely boyfriend, girlfriend. Now we know, definitely engaged at least.
Ring?
No, I didn't look that close.
All right.
But it's just funny. We find this ball, and then 30 seconds later, we're like, wait a second, you two are banging.
And, okay. You had no, like, just looking, because
I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I couldn't tell. But
like
the
the
old guy
balls
was
I
like,
have-
that's her.
the balls I have with your face on it, you, like, okay, I can tell, obviously. Whether someone else could tell or not, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, and it was in black and white too.
Okay.
But it was just a funny interaction. But as far as the real golf went, I haven't played that bad in a long time. It was tough, boys. I had a couple good holes.
Is it worse than the Wii Sports series?
No, not with the
Wii
so
Golf?
I had a hole like that. So like the Wii Golf, I only had 3 bad holes.
Okay.
They were just really fucking bad.
Yes, they were.
But like if we were playing skins, I would have only lost to you 5-3 or something like that
Okay.
because we would have pushed.
Oh, and Wii Golf. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So there was just a few holes that were really terrible. So I lost by 9 or some shit. And then spoilers for the next 2 episodes to come out of the Wii Golf thing. But every hole, I had at least a couple really good shots, but I also had a lot of really bad shots. It was hole 8 where I literally hit a drive 8 yards. I barely touched the ball. And like I hadn't used the breakfast ball yet. And I was like,
Thank God. Tee that sucker up again.
but the worst part, I fucking tee up the breakfast ball and I hit it 15 yards. I did it twice in a row. I barely got
top
off.
it in, or are you getting under it?
So I don't know. It was that.
Well, did it go up in the air?
I was for sure not under it. What I think, because I barely felt my club hit the ball. The ball I heard a tink and it would roll off. So I think what was happening, I was so far in front of the ball that I was just tickling it with like the heel of the driver.
Holy shit.
And it was terrible. And then so I go, obviously I'm going to take the 15-yard drive over the 8-yard drive. So I go and hit my drive barely past the women's box, not even to the fairway. And I fucking shank it perfectly straight away from my body into those trees with the porta potty in them. And I'm like, God damn it. I go in there. I'm not 40 yards from the tee marker at this point, hitting three, and I can't find my ball. And I know it ricocheted off some trees because we heard it bouncing in there. And I just walked to the other fairway and just dropped a ball and kept playing.
To not be able to find your ball 40 yards off the tee box after your second shot is, thank God you prefaced joining their group with, I'll play with you if you can't make fun of me.
Yes,
Because that warrants getting made fun of.
Yep. I was getting ahead of it. We talk about that all the time. I was
That's true.
I was getting ahead of my my shitty performance. Like I had one par. I got my first par of the year in this round. I had
Wait, you haven't parred a hole this year?
no. So the only other round I've played was Edgewood, and I played fine. I just putted shitty. Like Edgewood, I played worlds better, but my score wasn't as good.
Sure.
But
Let's go.
I putted
it up. First par of the year.
putted a hell of a lot better. Hit some really good shots, and it just hit some shots that there were just no recovering from, which was the problem. Like you can't recover from hitting 40 yards out with your ball missing.
No, you're in for double at least.
Yeah. And
At least.
I quadded that hole. So, I mean, when you're hitting 40 yards off the tee, you're going to end up with an 8.
Yeah, and it's like it's probably like a 310, 320 yard hole.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you still have 270 to go.
Right. And I
Hitting 3.
I absolutely smashed an 8-iron. It was a great shot on shot 3 from my drop in the other
You're
fairway.
laying up.
And then I think I duffed the chip and then left the chip short and then got on and I putted well. I think I 2-putted from like 10 feet out, but whatever. And then I stuck it on the green on 9. So
Of course you do.
it's just it was an absolute roller coaster of a round.
But you're having fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's the thing. It's like,
Old guy, besides the shot book, was really nice. The couple were great. They were funny. The dude was really good, but then he did top one, and I made a "you're human" joke. And he thought that was good. So yeah.
rapport.
Yep.
Yeah, you're having fun with the whole thing.
Yep.
It would be so easy to just, especially when we're playing with other people, it's just like, fuck, this is embarrassing. I don't want to be here anymore. You're with a buddy that you probably, I don't know, do you see him often?
Not often, really. The only time we see each other is like I said, he lives across the street. Like our kids play together in the yard.
Right. Yeah. And you're probably not golfing that much with this guy.
Nope.
It's just hard to get out these days. On the flip side of things, it could have been an absolute meltdown.
It could have been, yeah, but that's not me. If anyone can laugh it off, it is myself. I did get the closest I got to being pissed was when I fucking shanked it away from my body after the 2 worst drives of my entire life. This is like insult to injury, dude.
Yeah, that's not ideal, especially when you're like almost done with the round 2. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, however, you left with a good shot in your book.
Yeah. Yep. I still 3-putted, but stuck it on the green regardless.
Yeah. Let's see. I went out, I didn't go out this last week. It was beautiful this last weekend. And every part of me is like, for some reason, I just don't even think of booking tee times on the weekend.
I haven't
I
booked
don't
a
know
single.
why.
I'm playing invite guy this summer.
I'm kind of the same way. And when I'm sitting outside, I'm like, fucking this is perfect golf weather.
Mhm.
Why am I not out? I did look last Thursday for a Sunday tee time, so 3 days in advance. Earliest tee time you could get at any course around here was like 4 p.m.
Yeah. Ours, we
four
had a
people.
6:20 tee time.
So I might need to get into some twilight rounds going forward. Maybe
it's
like
really
a Sunday
I
night.
enjoy it.
But Sunday night, I kind of just want to like chill at home.
The only shitty thing is you're for sure only getting 9 in.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
there's pretty much no opportunity for 18.
Yep.
Starting at 6. But it is gorgeous. The temperature's perfect.
Yeah.
We did get a little chilly at the end, but I pulled out the wrinkliest quarter zip from the
one you-
side pocket in my bag.
Gotta have one in your bag. You gotta be prepared. That and a water bottle.
Yep. I had a water bottle, walked, obviously.
I just pulled out a water bottle out of my bag that was from last summer, and I took a sip of it just
Ew.
to taste.
Why?
It had been sitting in my bag pocket for probably half the summer, and then the winter, and now the start of spring. And it was just like drinking. I was drinking plastic.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that sucker went away.
Oh, there was one hunting season. I get into my stand. I open up my bag, my backpack, get my calls and shit out, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything set up. And I see there's 2 bottles of water in there. I'm like, fuck yeah. Dad threw water in my backpack for me.
Kinda
What a guy.
hydrated.
And I crack open a water, and it had to have been in my bag for like 3 years.
Jesus.
It was disgusting, dude.
really.
So like it was at the very bottom of my bag, and I pulled it open, and then like I'm checking the dates, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was like 2.5, 3 years old for a water to expire, which water shouldn't expire.
Did you spray it down with scent killer? Because I mean, that if you didn't see anything that morning, I can understand why.
Yeah, it tasted like straight pond scum.
Oof.
Yeah, the water can go bad, folks.
So I went out last Wednesday. It was the best night of the week,
Mhm.
and the only way that you can get 18 in, like right now, with how long the days are, where the sun's at, is so we started at 5:20, and that was maybe a 5:30. You can get 18 in.
You're pushing it, yeah.
You're pushing it. As the summer goes on, you can probably push that out to 6 maybe, but beautiful night. We went 2v2 scramble, me and my uncle against my cousin, so his son, and then his friend Jack, who was my sim partner.
Oh yeah.
Played 18. It was an awesome round. Tyler, I got to tell you, I have turned a new leaf in terms of I'm comfortable with where my golf game's at.
Hell yeah.
I'm hitting good shots. I'm hitting some not so good shots. I'm yanking an iron, or I'm pushing. It doesn't matter. I'm comfortable with where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
The first 3 drives, I think I probably yanked them 50 yards off the center of the fairway. But it didn't even matter because I'm like, okay, well, the hands are a little too aggressive today. So let's just leave the hands and let things fly open. Piping. Simple adjustment. Understand what you're doing. The weirdest thing ever, and maybe it's because I'm just not caring as much and I'm just not as attentive to what I'm doing. The weirdest thing ever has been happening to me this year, and it's happened 3 different times. I have pulled the completely wrong club out of my bag.
Really?
Rose Creek, my first round of the year, I wanted to tee off with a 4-iron. I hit a 6-iron. So I lose.
Those don't even look alike.
No, I know. They're like, I can understand a 9 and a 6, but a 4 and a 6 is not even in the same stratosphere. It's not even in the same pocket of my bag.
Because it's weird that you did this, because Nate did this like 3 times last night or on Sunday night. We're on hole 9, which is a 145-yard par 3. He pulls out like a 6-iron and hits it in the fucking parking lot.
Oh my gosh. 4.
Yeah. But like that's a normal mistake, like
Correct.
a 9 and a 6. But a 4 and a 6.
It was insane. So that was the first round of the year. It just happened one time. I go, okay, it's, I lose 25 yards. And then on Wednesday, it happened twice in the same round. And it happened on back-to-back holes.
Really?
So I'm 130 yards out. It's the perfect distance for a pitching wedge. I hit an 8-iron, and when I hit it, it's right at the pin. I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be good. And then I see the ball disappearing a little bit more into the sky, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is not gonna be good. I just juiced this club, and it went 30 yards over the green. 160, 165. Okay, I look at my club. Why did it go that far? Oh fuck, I'm hitting an 8-iron. And those don't even look this. I mean, kind of. You add one more like loop around the P, and my pitching wedge says W on it, so it doesn't even say P.
True.
Okay, so there, at least I know the yardage of my 8-iron, and that's dialed in. So the very next hole, I intend to hit an 8-iron, and I hit a 9-iron, and I'm like, why is it 15 yards short of the green? Well, it's because I'm hitting a 9-iron, not an 8.
You got to dial in,
and I'm
guy.
like, what the fuck is going on here? It's never happened in my entire life until the last 2 rounds I've played.
Are you getting like a little old age dyslexia?
I would like to think so, but again, when you walk through the W versus the 8, the 8 versus the 9, the 4 versus the 6, it's like it's not even close.
They don't look alike at all.
So, and I'm hitting my clubs the yardage they should be going. I'm just hitting the wrong clubs. So that's been happening in my camp this year. It's not ideal, but then again, I'm comfortable with where my game's at, and that's that. I'm gonna shoot in the 70s a couple times this year. I'm gonna hit some good drives. I'm gonna hit some really bad drives, and that's where I'm at right now.
That's good. I'm glad you've accepted it. It feels good, doesn't it?
Fucking pisses. You know what pisses me off though? The fucking tea time shortage around here. We've talked about it many times.
It'll die down in 2 weeks. It does this every year. It's fucking packed the first month, and then people realize that they don't like golf as much as they think they do, and then it really thins out starting in June.
It's kind of like the gym the first 2 to 4 weeks in January.
That's a perfect example. The New Year's resolutions, folks, give up 2 weeks after January 1st, and then the gym empties out.
Yeah. So I hope I can get one more round in this year if I'm able to snag a tee time, but I could be done for the entire summer because there's no tee times available. So
you start booking
nice
tee times in July.
You have to. Or I just got to get to know somebody at the course and just say, hey, book me for Sunday morning at 8 a.m.
for the next 2 months.
For the next 2 months. I'll pay in advance. If I cancel, just refund, whatever. So that's where I'm at.
There should be like a priority tee time deal. Like, hey, I'll pay you 10 extra bucks to jump the line.
Like a fast pass.
A roller coaster fast pass.
Yeah. It would be nice. You know what there should also be? There should be a rage room for golfers.
Go on.
So we've talked about like how to handle frustration on the golf course. And I haven't had really any frustration this year yet. But if I did, attach the pillow to your bag, get the bogey bag, something you can just hammer into when you're pissed off.
So is this a rage room? So it's like instead of the 19th hole, like where you have a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got a concrete room filled with old TVs and shit, and you can go in there and just destroy stuff.
Correct.
Turn on some Metallica and just rage out.
Yeah, well, concrete balls are gonna. I mean, you're putting yourself in danger. Which at that point, like if you're really that mad, you may not care. You may like just move all of the rage items out of the way and just hit one directly at the concrete wall, and hopefully it comes back and hits you in the head.
You're bringing your clubs and your balls in there.
Well, no, they're like, let's say they're range balls.
Okay.
But my clubs for sure.
I don't know. I think this would be a great way for a course to get rid of the lost and found clubs. You throw them in there and you can break someone else's clubs and not your own.
That's a good point. Let's say you pay $50, which I would. I mean, I paid $135 for this hoodie. Yeah, 19th hole style. I envision it kind of being like a batting cage with nets around it, and you have a little bit of room to hit in front of you. But old TVs and glass windows and old cabinets, anything that you can hit a ball and do damage to, or hit it through and do damage to.
Hell,
I mean, you watch the videos online, Tyler, where people are hitting golf balls through panes of glass. It's the most satisfying and coolest thing ever.
I just don't have the technical skills to hit what I'm aiming at every time.
I mean,
so I feel like I would go into this rage room trying to put balls through a TV and miss a bunch and just get more pissed. So for me, I would go in there and just...
You can't hit a ball on the... you can't hit a straight shot on the course, so how do you expect it?
Right.
Fucking 36-inch box TV that's 15 yards in front of you.
I would just get more upset. So for the rage room for me, I would utilize it as more of just baseball swinging my clubs directly at items.
That would be a great feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, to take the head of a club directly to a glass structure or a wooden structure. Who knows? Maybe like somebody left their car overnight too many nights in a row, and they're like, hey, we can either impound this or we can throw it in the rage room.
Park it in the rage room.
Yeah, it's kind of like the deal they have at high schools at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Where you can go and like take one swing with a baseball bat to whatever part of the car you want.
That's such a weird tradition.
Kind of.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I think it's part of a drunk driving like type deal. But the rage room, I mean, could be, especially now when it's cleanup week.
Yeah.
It could very easily be implemented. Dude. Like you got take your summer $10.50 an hour greenskeeper, send him out, say, hey, grab as many supplies as you can, fill this trailer.
Grab us the most breakable shit.
Correct. Bring it back. We'll set it up, and $50 a pop. Someone can go in there and they can wreak havoc.
Dude, that'd be so therapeutic.
Exactly. It's satisfying.
And,
and what more, you need to be satisfied after a shitty round.
I feel like so many golfers would just mellow out on the course if they knew that there was a release for them at the end.
Definitely. Or they would pent it up until they got to the 19th hole. And then they can cause damage.
See, I don't think we should do the nets thing, because I think people should be able to get their rage out in private.
Okay.
I think it's got to be, no one can see how angry you get in there.
Okay.
And then I really think that everyone on the course is going to chill out, because they can go into that room in total privacy and just be as mad and as insane as they want to be without worrying about their buddies judging them.
But also, imagine if there were cameras in there, and like when you sign off on liability, like you're signing off also on being on camera. Imagine the clips of some guys in that rage room. Dude, that would surface online.
The best clips would be dudes whiffing. Like angry 45-year-old man who doesn't have shit going on in his life. He did really bad on the course that day. Squares up on a TV and fucking whiffs.
It's kind of like when you get like pissed off or something and you try and like kick a wall or like kick a rock or something, and it just ends up hurting you in turn.
Or like the clips of all the Dylans out there trying to punch drywall and then they hit a stud.
Yeah. This would be absolutely electric. And if it's out there already, let us know. I know there are rage rooms with like baseball bats. They probably have golf balls or golf clubs in there, but to have this accessible at the end of a round, you get 10 minutes, or you space it out like you would a tee time.
Yeah.
So you get done with the tee time.
Yeah, every tee time gets a little block.
Correct.
So like if you got to force them, you got to divvy it up. Everyone gets 5 minutes. Hop
Yeah.
in there. Start
Say
swinging away.
10 people throughout the entire day pay $50 to get in there.
I would.
Extra
I don't know if
$500.
I'd pay $50, but I would.
Dude, you would be surprised the people who would pay $50 to do that.
What is can you Google this? No, what like a regular rage room cost, like the normal ones. And I mean, I guess not really a normal concept.
Especially if
just Google it on your phone so you don't mess up the recording, because I don't know what to do with that.
especially if you are restricted on time, like, hey, you have 7 minutes. People are going to do damage in 7 minutes. It's not like you have a half hour where you're kind of milling around, whatever.
So
People will wreak havoc.
30 minutes for one person. It includes a smash bin with 12 to 15 small to medium items. That is $40.
For 30 minutes.
Each additional person is $25. It's a max of 4 people per room. And then you can do add-ons for 20 plus. It's just what it says. So $20 plus items. That includes TVs, electronics, office equipment, or additional smash bins. They typically range from $20 to $60 add-ons. So that could get expensive fast.
And the thing about a rage room is like you have to, book your time online. You have to try and get pissed off about something so that you have a little bit of rage going into there. On the 19th hole, you are catching people at their worst.
Honestly,
so people the checkbooks are open and people are very vulnerable at this point to pay probably more than $50.
I honestly think that the rage room on a golf course would be way more violent than the rage rooms that the people just have. Because I've seen clips of people go into a rage room and they're all just like not actually mad. They're just going there because it's fun.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's unique. And they're all in there. They can barely swing their fucking sledgehammer or their baseball bat.
You gotta find the anger when you do that.
Yeah.
Like you do it almost for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You find somebody in a weak point after
Definitely.
Yeah.
it's gonna get
They're
ugly.
at their worst at that point.
Those rooms would absolutely have to be soundproof because there'd be some disgusting phrases coming out of there. Those are the types of videos I think I could see.
That's
someone
what-
recording down a hallway or whatever, just hearing smashing and vulgar words.
That'd be unbelievable. Or maybe you don't make it soundproof and like, hey, this is you're taking the risk of your buddies getting you on camera
Right.
and exposing you to the entire world.
We have this thing in our family where every Ziggler does this, and I call it the Ziggler fuck, where you get pissed off and literally just every other word is fuck. And like I've seen my dad do it, like spazzing over a lawnmower.
yeah.
Like I do it over if I can't get something to work right, and it's like stupid fucking piece of shit. Just like every other word. And we all do it, and it's just hilarious when you catch one of your family members doing it. It's like genetics made us all just use fuck every other word.
Yeah.
So that's for sure what I would be doing in the rage
therapeutic.
room.
Yep. I think it's a great idea. Anyone out there, you got an extra spot in the like the maintenance shed or something?
Yeah.
Let's get something set up.
Think about it, guys.
We'll come test it out for you too.
Yep.
Cleanup week is a great week to grab shit.
Mhm. Take a break.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. I've been on a history guy, naturally. You're a history guy.
Mhm.
Noah, you're probably a history guy. If you're sitting in this room, we'll make you one right now. I've been thinking of just like the smallest minute things that make up a golf course and what the history behind them is, because the cool part about golf is that there is so much history to it.
Yes.
It's like one of the oldest standing games out there, if not the oldest. So I have a lot of questions that I'm starting to uncover today, Tyler. I want to bring you guys through the origin and like the explanation behind the flag stick on a golf course.
So
You might just think it's this thin pole of a structure that just sits there. It's like, hey, this is just natural. Well, there's a lot behind it that a lot of people don't know.
I mean, if I had to guess, they just put it there so you can figure out where the hole is from a distance, right?
Yeah, that's in terms of color and like length of use, how long you can actually get, whatever. It's kind of interesting. So I'll bring you through it real quick.
Okay, go on.
Also, great talking point. If again, someone asks you to play with them you've never met before, maybe throw one of these out on the green
Okay.
that you guys roll up to. Okay, so the origin story of the flag, I think we talked about this before. It originated from the old course of St. Andrews. It used to be double greens. So the way that they would distinguish like one hole from another because they were on the same green is the color of the flag stick.
Okay.
One of them will be white, and then the other one would be red.
Okay.
So hey, okay, I'm hitting towards the white flag, whatever. So that's kind of the origin and where the flag developed at. Now, the flag sticks do not have a minimum or maximum height.
Really?
And this is all coming from golf.com. The USGA used to recommend that flag sticks be at least 7 feet tall, but that language is no longer in the governing body guidelines.
So we could have little tiny chode flags.
Yeah, you could have like
we could have 30 footers.
Correct. You could have a putting green flag. Now, obviously, depth perception and being able to see it from where you're at it also matters. Next time you're watching a tournament broadcast, check out how the fans are attired. Very few will be wearing yellow, which makes yellow a great color for flag sticks.
Interesting.
So that's why you'll see a lot of yellow flags out there is during pro tournaments, because it's easy to distinguish the flag from somebody in the background in the stands.
So Scotty's Sunday yellows really threw him for a loop last year.
Sunday yellow would be a great flag stick company.
That'd be a terrible merch company. Don't do it, Scotty.
Let's see. The next little description, standard practices. Just because there are no rules regarding height doesn't mean there aren't customs on the PGA Tour. Tournament specs call for 8 foot tall flag sticks. So that's just across the PGA. The taller the flag, the easier it is for depth perception. The tallest flag stick ever was 12 feet tall at a golf course in Arizona.
Why? Is
That's
it
a great question.
Was it like on top of a hill or something?
Here's a picture of it.
What the fuck?
I mean, it is that guy's not even 6 foot tall.
Jesus.
So imagine,
Like, I mean, you get a wind, that thing's bent all the way over.
yeah, imagine trying like taking that thing out of a hole. Like if you're pissed off at a buddy or something, what a great prop to
Snap.
go to hell on him.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're getting whipped with a 12-foot flag stick, you're not friends.
No. And they would only use something like this in a not so windy course, maybe like down in the valley. I don't know how that all works, but in decades past, at especially windy open championship venues, the R&A has used flag sticks slightly shorter, standing around 5'4" tall.
Okay.
So if you can imagine a flag stick that is like 6 inches shorter than you, be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
More than that. 5'4", 6'1".
Oh yeah, I was thinking to 10, and then it rolls over to 1. It's not. It's 12.
Yeah, get my height right. It's a pride thing.
No,
you know what my move is with height, actually? Every time I have a buddy who's like 5'10" or like 5'11", I tell them that I'm 5'11" to make them feel shorter.
There's no requirement that there needs to be a flag at the end of the pole. It could really be anything that is of what they, in quotes, reasonable size.
So it can't just be like a naked pole, though.
Correct.
Okay.
It has to have a flag on the end, but there's no requirements on how big the flag has to be.
Okay, so you could do like a full size.
You could do a fucking golf bag. You could do
So it doesn't have to be a flag itself. It could just be
correct. It could be
that can fly in the wind.
Attached to the end of the flag. Yeah. It could be a basket. It could be a pillow. It could be.
You know what I
like
want?
that.
I want, instead of flags, I want those inflatable wavy arm guys from car lots.
That would be
Just
sick,
fucking
actually.
flopping around doing the worm and shit up there. There's no mistaking where the pin is then.
No, and I mean, to lock in on a target would be much easier. I mean, there's no question. Sometimes, like, if you have like an uphill flag, it like gets lost in the trees a little bit because you can't see it on the horizon. There are also a lot of caddies that will carry a pliers in the bag or their pocket to make the flag more easily removable if their player wins the tournament.
Interesting.
So like at the Masters, they take the flag off the flag stick, or they take whatever.
Because the caddy gets the flag at the Masters.
Oh, they do?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
pretty positive
That's
that's the
sweet.
tradition. Like the caddy gets to take the flag on 18.
fucking Bones, he might have like a 20, 30-year-old players that he's taken,
That's one of those superstition things though. Like as the caddy, do you bring the pliers so you're prepared, or do you not? Cause you don't want to jinx it. Like
good question.
I know I'm not a good golfer, but I don't bring 2 balls to the tee box with me because I don't want the golf gods to think that I'm presuming my first shot's going to be good.
I think probably first day on the job with a new player, you put the pliers in the bag and then you just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You never take it out so that it can, it makes itself at home a little bit. You kind of forget it's in there, but when you do need it, it's there to take the flag off. I don't know. I'm with you though. The superstition thing, it's a real thing.
Don't want to jinx yourself.
Flag stick lifespans about a year. Nothing crazy there.
Okay.
And then the flag stick width. If you don't hit many flag sticks, don't feel bad. Under the rules of golf, the maximum diameter is 2 inches from the top of the stick to a point no less than 3 inches above the putting green. So you put the flag down, 6 inches down, and the whole 4 inch.
Something like that.
So from where the ground goes across the flag stick to the top.
Yeah, that's why they have the taper. They're skinnier at the bottom and then get thick in the middle.
Correct. From a point 3 inches above the green and down, the maximum diameter is 3/4 of an inch. You got the taper there.
Okay.
So, little golf flag education. Colors, lifespan, diameter of the flag. You can fucking fly anything you want on there. You could hang your buddy up there by his feet if he loses a bet. Anything you want.
Do you have in this article, did golf start with a flag, or was it kind of just you hit it up on the green and then figured out where the hole was?
So it doesn't really. I mean, like the origin of the flag.
Because I imagine it's like basketball. Like basketball started with an actual wicker basket with no hole.
Yeah.
They would shoot it in the basket, have to climb a ladder, go get the ball.
Yep. So they say, sorry, go ahead.
I would assume that golf evolved in a similar way.
Yeah, they say it's hard to say when flag sticks were first put into use, but the first mention of flag stick in the rules of golf appeared in the R&A Code of 1875. Decades prior, references to flag sticks had already popped up in the popular press, including the Fifeshire Journal in 1857, referencing a 2 flag per green setup at the old course in St. Andrews.
Okay.
So decades before, 1857.
It had to have been one of those things where like the inventors of golf probably only play like 2 or 3 rounds before like we need to have something marking these holes.
We can't just have a
pretty early edition.
Yeah, we can't just have like a birch tree branch sticking out of there. And it's a whole thing. So a little background on the flag stick. Kind of interesting. The yellow color I didn't really realize
mattered. Or was it intentional even?
Yeah. Whether it matters or not, it's kind of a cool fact. The next one that I wanted to get into, and this one to me is wild. All I did was go on Google and say, why is the golf hole the size that it is? And I think it will actually shock you. Okay. There's really no reason why it is 4.25 inches in diameter.
So I didn't know that it was 4.25 inches until right now.
Yes. So the 4.25 inches requirement was first formally adopted in 1891 by the UK-based Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews. Everything goes back to
St. Andrews started every single golf tradition.
And when I reference R&A, that's Royal and Ancient Golf Club, St. Andrews. So
okay, I'm all for St. Andrews. I think the history is sweet, but it's so pretentious to call yourself the Royal and Ancient course.
Royal and Ancient Golf Club. Not even course.
It's not that ancient. Like it's 200 plus years old.
In the grand scheme of things, it's really not. But
ancient means like BC.
Like mummies and pyramids and shit like that.
Not racist old white guys who wouldn't let anyone on their course.
So at that time, 1891, the R&A was golf's only governing body. Through today, the United States Golf Association, the USGA, jointly governs the sport with the R&A. So like Royal and Ancient Golf Club is governing the body or governing the sport with the USGA.
Okay,
that's
so
what I understand.
It's the USGA of Europe or the UK.
They're jointly governing the sport of golf.
Okay.
So why was 4.25 inches determined to be the standard size of a golf hole? The first known hole cutter, which can still be seen on display at its club in Scotland, was created in 1829 at the Royal Musselburgh Golf Club. The reason for the 4.25 inch size isn't known for sure, though the hole cutter tool was likely based on an available drainage pipe at the club.
Interesting.
Whatever the reason for this particular hole size, it became the standard that golfers had grown accustomed to, leading the R&A to make it official. When the USGA came into existence, they too adopted this official golf size hole.
So quite literally, the size of the golf hole is just because they happen to have this piece of pipe laying in like their maintenance shed.
Correct.
That's kind of sweet.
It's kind of sweet. It's also
So
like
this whole-
why couldn't we get like a fucking like an old culvert
Yeah,
or something?
seriously.
Like, hey, this is the only thing we have available. So me and 3 other guys are gonna each stand on one side, and we're gonna push this bitch down into the ground.
I wish they would have like a 5-gallon bucket laying around instead of a pipe.
It would have been great.
Yep.
It would have been great. I felt like 5-gallon bucket's not overly big to the point where like, I don't know, it fucks the grass up or whatever. But because it was like an available piece of drainage pipe, that's what they started cutting holes with.
This hole cutter tool, it's a homemade tool then that they use the pipe.
It has to be.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, there's no reason to have a golf hole cutting tool prefabricated somewhere.
Correct. Before the sport of like when the sport of golf was just developed.
So a homemade tool is the reason that I lip out all the time.
That is correct.
That someone just decided.
Yeah.
Like one guy decided that this was going to be the size of the hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Little did he know the impact he would have on our sport.
Change the game.
Like, do you guys think, like, what do you think about the size of the golf hole?
I mean, it's all we know.
No one even, it's all we know. But it could have been a little bit, it could have been 5.5 inches. It could have been 3 inches. But the fact that it landed on this because it was just some
shit pipe
in
Scotland
laying in the maintenance shed, that's how it got developed today.
That is really, really interesting. I think that's cool. Just random chance stuff that impacts something for literal centuries.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, hey, if you ever seen, we've played foot golf with soccer balls at a par 3 course. Imagine if that was the size of a golf hole.
I bet you they made foot golf holes the same ratio, like size of ball to hole as golf ball to the 4.25 inches.
Yeah. And I wonder how the game would be different these days if let's say the golf hole was 8 inches in diameter. Like how would that change like the clubs or the distance? It could change the distance of a hole. Like a par 3 hole is now 200 plus yards because you have, 4 times the amount of diameter to get the ball in the hole.
It goes without saying that we'd be taking a whole hell of a lot less putts. Like
for sure.
You're lipping out a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
So scores just improve vastly, but then that just moves the standard.
Correct.
And I think they would change. Yeah, you're right. I think they would probably have to change distance of hole or par of hole. Like they might be par 2s if the cup was bigger.
Definitely.
Which those do exist, but never on any like official courses.
No, it's like on the Mountain Shadows. They had was it par 2?
The par 2 was the 19th hole. It was like you putted downhill.
Yeah, it was like a 60-yard putt or something. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the holes might I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure you'd still have buddies lipping out.
Well, when we eventually build a golf course out here, maybe we'll fuck around with 6-inch holes.
Yeah, maybe 4.25. Maybe we'll fucking 4.75.
I mean, when you think about it, 4.25 inches is really big. It's like way more inches than you need.
In the grand scheme of things, that's large.
Seriously, 4.25 inches, dude. That's like honestly 2 more inches than you need.
Bigger than a tuna can.
Yeah.
Girth wise.
Are we talking girth? I was talking length.
I just flipped it over to girth, but yeah, I mean, no, you're in terms of length and girth. So
There's a dick joke to end the podcast for you guys.
yeah. Little history on the flagstick. Super interesting fact about the golf hole.
Mm-hmm.
What could have been?
We'll never know.
What could have been? We will
no
never
one will
know.
ever change it because of that shit pipe in Scotland.
Fuckers. All right, guys. It's all I got.
That's all I got.
Yeah, Sunday Red.
You got a meeting in 7 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh.
Appreciate y'all listening in. We'll be back next week, episode 189. Love y'all.
Love you.
They piped that the wrong fucking way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book in another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.